Hello and welcome to Season 4 of Backstage Buzz at the Mac, where you get the inside story on the art scene right from the creators themselves. I'm Diana Martinez, and I can't wait to kick off another season of great shows. Later on, I'll give you the scoop on some amazing artists coming to the Mac next season and share some highlights from the new Philharmonic's Lakeside Pavilion concert. But first, I am so excited to welcome an incredible illustrator and author to the show, Mike Venezia. Mike's here to chat about his role in the Frida Kahlo 2020 exhibition coming in the summer of 2020. He'll give us a hint of what there is to look forward to as we count down to next year. Welcome, Mike.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for having me here, and I'm really excited to be part of the Frida Kahlo mania that's going on here in Glen Ellyn, and I'm working on the children's part of it. So my hope is to have interactive things going on, so kids can enjoy the show, get to understand Frida and what was going on in her life, and enjoy her paintings, her amazing paintings.
Well, I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed working with you on this project, because the creative energy you bring and your style of the cartoons, it's fun, it's playful, yet it's educational, and I think that, like, for instance, we're going to do a mural at Frida Fest, right? That he's done, and I'm going to share it with you because I love it so much. So Mike outlined this and designed this mural, and it'll be 16 feet long, and then it'll be put on canvas, and our tech crew is doing that. And on Frida Fest Day, families and children can come paint, and they can paint with Mike, because Mike's going to be there.
I want to be there because this is going to be fun. It might be so much fun I won't want anybody to help, but I can't imagine how much fun it would be to, have this gigantic mural and all these different paints around, and to color it, kind of like a coloring book. And there's no rules, and it could be any age, from 3 years old to adults.
I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So Frida Fest is September 8th, and it's at the Lakeside Pavilion, and it's an all-day event with entertainment starting at 1 o'clock. There's activities like Paint with Mike. There'll be food vendors, Mexican vendors selling artisanal crafts, and I just think it's going to be phenomenal. And then we have Ballet Folklorico that performs at 3, at 5 o'clock, Mariachi Monumental, and then at 7, Outrageous, which are artists who sing in a band, and then they're going to paint 2 murals, one of Diego Rivera, one of Frida. So it's just going to be a fun day. So if you come out all throughout the day, you can come paint with Mike and have some fun.
That's right. And one other thing for the Frida Fest is I've created it's kind of like something you would see at a carnival or a circus. It's Frida and Diego, but their heads are cut out. So kids can go up to them, put their face in, and their parents can snap, pictures of them. And they're all dressed in really colorful Mexican folk costumes that Frida might have worn.
Absolutely.
And stuff. And again, that's the interactive part. So kids, come be part of Frida and Diego, who is kind of inseparable. Get your picture taken, do a great fun mural. And that mural I have a lot of hope for, because when it's done, again, there's no rules.
Tour.
You can color outside the lines if you want, and all these people will have a part of it. And if it's really great, I'm sure you'll keep it around.
Oh, absolutely. I've already told some of the libraries and different people in the community, and they want to host it for a week, in their library or at different places. So Mike, let's tell people how we met. Was through your sister, Debbie Venezia, who runs Arts DuPage. And she told me, you have to meet my brother. You have to meet my brother. He'd be really interested in what you're doing with Frida Kahlo. And then she brought this book to me. And this is one of Mike's books. And Mike has written over 120 books for children in his career. But he doesn't just write them, he illustrates them beautifully. And when I saw this book, I was like, oh my gosh, we have to meet. And I was just thrilled. But it's really fun because kids get to learn about all these different artists in a quick, easy bite, but with fun, colorful illustrations. And how'd you start doing these, Mike?
Well, years ago, when my kids were in grade school, their school didn't have an art teacher. So a lot of the moms would volunteer, and there were programs like Art Smart and Art Moms and stuff. And sometimes they'd get advice from people from the Art Institute of Chicago, and maybe they would buy a bunch of posters of great artworks and stuff. And my wife was part of this. And she was, getting concerned because it wasn't really a soup, they weren't really professional. She would get big reels of film from the National Gallery. Mm-hmm. The 16 millimeter film was probably 15 years old, and it was narrated by very boring, like professional people, and the film was all faded and stuff. And I thought, well, maybe I can remedy the situation. And I said, well, I'd be willing to do some, like little pictures and stuff for the kids to see how Picasso thought, or maybe like Jackson Pollock, some of the easy ones, just to get them interested in it. And then it occurred to me, well, I had done a couple of children's books in the past, and I thought maybe I could approach my publisher and see if they'd be interested in doing great artists for kids. And at first they were apprehensive. Oh, some of these artists have questionable lives. How are you going to do Van Gogh, and how are you going to do this person and that person? I said, I know how to do it. So I did a dummy book or two and showed it to them. Make a long story short, they decided to do it. And they started with 2 books, Picasso and Rembrandt. And I thought that would be good because they're so far apart in styles and period things. And they started selling well. So they said, oh, could you do a couple more and a couple more? And then suddenly, I ended up with like 47 artist books over the years. So you did
artist books, musicians, inventors?
And scientists, and the U.S. presidents. And it was in the middle of the artist books, I thought, well, why can't we do composers? Because I love music so much. And I said, okay, we'll give it a try. And so that was a whole series in itself. And the U.S. presidents and inventors and scientists. And I really love the inventors and scientists because all these people were creative.
Right.
And that's one of the advantages they had over other people who weren't as creative. Mm-hmm. And that's why this whole thing of art, artists, music, whatever, dance, theater, is so important, because I think if children are introduced to that and encouraged to be creative, then they can be good at anything. They can be better at anything, whether it's math or science or,
Teaches you to think outside the box.
Right, exactly. And in this day and age, nobody knows what's going to happen in 3 or 4 years. Mm-hmm. Education is something that started, and they're pretty much the same, things that they follow. But the whole world is changing all the time. So if you're creative, you can kind of, look at
adapt,
that.
Right?
Adapt to it and move around.
So Mike, beyond helping us with Frida Fest, you're helping us design the children's area for Frida. And we've talked about interactive things, and you're also going to do a few readings for the kids with Q&A, and a reading for adults with Q&A to talk about your career and writing books. And tell us a little bit about some of your ideas for the children's area.
Well, so I have to say, you and your staff has been so encouraging and helpful. That whenever I say anything, it's like, fine, let's do that. I'm not used to that. Everything is always a big fight, to get something done. But I thought, well, maybe this room that we're using could be painted in Frida and Diego's favorite color, which is cobalt blue.
Right.
This rich, beautiful blue. And you said, fine, we can do that. So you could give this whole room an atmosphere that has something to do with Frida. And we would blow up some of my illustrations to put on the wall. I could do a reading of my book, and I thought to make it more interesting, I would hope we would have music.
Yep.
and we could project things on the walls, like from the book, so kids could see maps of Mexico that I could refer to. And I even thought of something else. I don't know if it can happen, but wouldn't it be great if kids were there and they knew that Frida had all these unusual pets? Well, what if we were able to get some of those
petting
pets
zoo, which
and
is awesome.
bring them in?
Like a spider monkey, a parrot, animals that are indigenous to Mexico, and teach them about them, and the hairless dog.
Right, those dogs. I want to find one of those dogs because they're so weird. They're not easy to find, but I'm sure somebody in DuPage County has a Zolo dog.
Right, we're looking for a Zolo dog. So if you know of a Zolo dog, we're looking for one.
And so those little things, again, it would be interactive because the kids, after I read a book, for instance, can ask questions.
Right.
And it can be about anything. It could be about how do you write, where do you get your ideas, how do you research the books.
Well, and we're going to have a coloring book that you're going to make for sale. So if people want to do this at home and take their experience further, we're going to have a project for every kid. Every kid there you're going to create a project where they can create their own portrait. You're going to encourage them to, why did Frida make portraits? What makes her unique? What makes you unique? I love that.
Yeah, and that should be a lot of fun. And Frida's portraits are what I love so much about her work. She does many different things, but I've always concentrated on her portraits and even her still lifes, which are beautiful and not as well known. But her artwork is, when she does something, she's looking at you, she's communicating with you in her portraits. And she's got all these little things around that have to do with her life. And they're just incredible, I think.
I do too.
Yeah.
Well, I can't believe that we're out of time because I could talk to you all day, and I'm so grateful you are a part of this project. And if you want to meet Mike, you can meet him on September 8th at Frida Fest, or you'll see him here at the summer of 2020 at different events. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Frida Fest is right around the corner on Sunday, September 8th from 12 to 9, featuring entertainment by Ballet Folklorico Quetzalcoatl, Mariachi Monumental de Mexico, and headliner Outrageous. Enjoy live music, live visual art, live dance, authentic Mexican food, vendors, and so much more. Don't miss your chance to be a part of this historic cultural event in our community. Tickets are now on sale for the MAC's 1920 season. Check out some of the highlights from this year's lineup. For the whole season lineup, please visit atthemac.org. Tickets are also available in person at the box office or by calling 630-942-4000. Don't miss out on your chance to see one or more of these great artists. For the third year in a row, we are proud to present New Philharmonic's Free Summer Pops concert, streamed live for our online and WDCB-TV audiences. In case you missed it, or if you just want to see it again, here are a few of our favorites from this memorable evening.
How is the French music? Not merveilleux, not fabulous, nothing, just fine? Wow. Wow, unbelievable. Excellent, right. He's like Pepe Le Pew. Ah, there you go. Okay. We're going to change gears now, okay? We're going to, next year, New Philharmonic Opera is going to play the luscious and gorgeous and hilarious operetta by Franz Lehár, The Merry Widow. And the costumes will be fantastic, the lighting will be fantastic, the singers, always from our Chicagoland, are first class. And our soloist that we're going to bring out now has sung several main roles with us just in the last several operas. She was Violetta in the Traviata. She was Rosalinda in Fledermaus. And next year, she is going to play in The Merry Widow Valenciennes, who has the unfortunate choice in her life to be married to a total moron, like really just an incompetent guy named Baron Zeta, okay? Catherine is going to sing the most famous aria from The Merry Widow, and it's usually sung by another character. But we wanted to give you a taste of this beautiful and ravishing music by Lehár, and we wanted to give you a chance to hear the wonderful, wonderful Catherine Weber again. Would you please welcome her?
A youth wandered near to the
What an outstanding performance. You can view the entire concert by liking us on Facebook or following us on YouTube. Thank you for watching Backstage Buzz. We're excited to continue sharing behind-the-scenes insights and up-and-coming artists and directors with you throughout the year. It's going to be a great season, so we look forward to seeing you at the MAC and next time on Backstage Buzz.